everyone, welcome to my channel Nicklix. In this video, I am going to explain you how to edit a data with the help of Postman. In my last video, I have explained you how to delete a data from the Postman, and in this video, I am going to tell you how to edit a data with the help of. So to edit a data, first of all, we need to fetch that particular data. I'm going to create a URL that fetch data URL. I need to pass an ID over here. So ID is a variable that is being passed. So it is going to take me to a particular function. That particular function I'm going to specify over here. So fetch da fetch data is a function that this URL is taking me to. So whenever the user will be typing fetch data along with ID, it is going to take me to the fetch data function. So in the API controller, I have to create a fetch data function, and as my URL is accepting an ID, so I need to pass an variable. That variable is named as ID. So I need to check here that if my ID is been existing this particular ID that is being passed by the user is being existed into my database table or not. For that, I have a student model. It will be checking that where ID is a column name, ID is a variable, this ID is a variable. So it needs first of all checking. It will be checking that if that particular record exists. So in the student table, if that particular ID that is being passed is exist, then that particular student table will be searched for that particular ID, and if that ID has been found, then the record of that particular ID will be converted to JSON and will be returned to my stud object. So that particular record has been fetched into my stud variable. So I need to return that this variable. So return response, as I have to like convert into my this JSON. So I need to return this response as this record is being converted to JSON. So it is being get from the table and it is converted to JSON and been stored in the stud object. So I need to just returning a response over here. And if that particular record is not found, then the same message I'm going to place here is return response JSON record not found. So first of all, we need to check this that if it has been working or not. So fetch data ID, first of all, we need to check that which particular record we need to fetch. So right now we have this all records into my table into my student table. So I need to fetch this 5 number record. So for that, I have created a URL as fetch data. So I need to pass this URL here, fetch data. And after the fetch data, I need to pass a variable name 5. So when I'm going to click here on the send part, so that particular record should be presented here, but right now it's showing me some error. So let's check what this error is. So let's say we have to find out this error. So in the API controller, it's everything seems to be working fine. So here my return response, the semicolon was missing over here, and the in api.php here also I have missed my semicolon. So fetch data 5. So if I am going to like send it, so here my this API has been working. So here my record has been displayed in which ID number 5 all the record data is being displayed over here. So it was the first part of your edit function, because in this first part I have just fetched the data from my database, and that particular record is been displayed into my Postman. So now a record has been displayed, so we need to now update that particular record. So to update that particular record, I need to create a URL with the put function. So I need to create a URL that will be edit data, and along with this edit data, I'm going to pass an ID. So ID is being passed. It is going to take me, because that particular record is being displayed, is being edited. Because if I'm not going to pass an ID, how it is being assuming that which record is to be updated. So ID is necessary if you want to edit a particular data with the help of Postman. So it is going to take me to a function named edit data. So edit data is a function that is to be called, and I will be putting a semicolon over here. So edit data URL along with its ID, it is going to take me to the API controller edit data function. So now I'm going to create the edit data function. So edit data, and I need to pass, because this edit data when function is been called, the request, I need to create a request object also, because all the form data is going to receive in this request variable. Along with the request, I need to create an ID variable, because this ID variable will be deciding that which particular record will be edited from my table. So ID is being ID. So here I'm going to check that also, that if student where the same one ID is a column, then ID is exist. So if it is exist, we need to create an object start. So student finds that particular record, and that particular record we need to update all the fields in the same. So stud, we have a field as first name. So first name, this will be updated with my request, in which my form values are presented. So here I'm going to say the first name. So in this way, I'm going to just update my whole fields. So I need to check the first name, last underscore name, course, gender, image, and address. So first name, last name, course, gender, image, and address. So here first name, it should be a last name, course, gender, image, and the last one is my address. So this is my this column names. It's a first name, last name, course, gender, image, and address. And here the field names, which has been first name, last name, course, gender, image, and address. So last name should be course, gender, image, address. So I need to call, after updating all these records, I need to call a save function. So if this save function is being executed, it is going to like give me a response, like a return. It should be a JSON response. So here I'm going to say as record updated successfully. Else it is going to, if record has been not found, so it is going to return a response that is record not found response. So this is the edit function which I have been created. So let's try it into the Postman. So first of all, my data is being fetched. So I need to like change my, I need to change my records. For changing, to change my record, I need to just copy this by just creating, by selecting and like pressing the Control C. So here I am going to click on a raw data. So in the raw data, I need to just paste my record over here, and I need to like click on this particular this, you can say, sub menu, and I need to just click on a JSON. Also I need to just remove this the square brackets, and I need to update here. So I can just say here Babita 123, Singla 123, it's BBA 123, and the female, let it be female, and here 123.png, and address should be 123. So this I have changed, and now I'm going to like update my URL. So to update my URL, I need to just create a put request over here. So the put request, and now I'm going to call this edit data function. So edit data function has been called here, and the ID will be passed. So this is the ID that is to be passed. So now clicking on the send. So there is an error of else in my API controller 81 number line. So let's check what's the error here. So 81, I think uh, so we have an error in the 81 number line. Oh, okay. So this is a function. Oh, the my else part is being like typed outside the function. So I need to pick this else part, because this else part is the this if conditions else part, not a function. So I need to just cut it from here, and I need to just paste it over here, because it's my if else part. So here my function edit data that has been starting over here, and it's been ending over here, and this is my if part, that if student record exists, then all this updations will be done. Otherwise, if it is not been existed, or it is not been found into your database, then a response has been returned, that means the record not found. So again, I'm going to hit this send. So here my message comes record updated successfully. And if I'm going to check here into my database table, so here the fifth number record I have been updated as Babita 123, Singla 123, BB 123, 123 PNG, and the address is 123. So this is how we can just edit a record from a database. So having a quick overview of that video is, first of all, we need to create a get route in which we are going to select fetch a particular record that we need to edit. So fetch data ID will just giving me that particular record, and after that particular record is being fetched, because fetch data ID will be taking me to the fetch data function. So this fetch data function, that ID will be received, then that particular ID will be found into your database table, and if that particular table and if that particular ID exists in that particular table, it will be fetched from that table and will be converted to JSON and will be returned into your stud object, and that stud object we are going to return as a response. And if that particular ID is not being found into your table, then it is going to go on this else part, and it is going to return a response of record not found. So after that, like we can just uh, test here also. So fetch data, so 5 number ID, so it's a get request, so that particular ID record has been fetched over here. So after that, if we want to edit a data, we need to call an edit data. This edit data, first of all, we need to just copy this from here, copy this from here. We need to click on this raw, we need to paste here, and in this menu, a sub menu, we need to go and say here JSON, and here we need to just remove this square brackets, and here we can say here as we need to just delete 123, and we can say here as babita.png, and address should be civil Halifax. So this record has been edited. So if we want to edit a particular record, we need to call this edit ID, edit data URL with the help of put request. So we need to change here the put request. So whenever this edit data function is called, it is being taken into API controller edit data function, and in this edit data function, the form request has been received as well as ID has been received, then ID has been found into your table, that if it exists, that particular record of that particular ID will be fetched and returned into your stud object. And here I'm going to update all the fields of that table, and after that I have called a save function. So save will be updating all the records and it will be returning a message as record updated successfully. And if that particular record is not existing into your table, then it is going to display me the message as record not found. So edit data sent. So that particular record is being updated successfully. So here, if I'm going to say here, the fifth number record is Babita123. So now it's been converted to Babita.png, and the rest is helpers. I hope you like my video and do subscribe to my channel so that you should not miss any update of Laravel and other technical tutorials. So thanks for watching.